Hey guys, tonight on Margaret Radio Health in Later Life, we're going to talk about a quiet, often frustrating, morning ritual that many of you might know all too well. Imagine the scene. The room is peaceful, perhaps the very first, gentle glow of dawn is just beginning to filter through your curtains. The house is in that deep, quiet stillness that only exists in the earliest hours. You are comfortable, warm, and just on the edge of waking. But as you begin to stir, to think about the day ahead, an uninvited guest makes its presence known. It isn't an alarm clock. It's a deep, familiar ache that starts in your lower back, a stubborn stiffness that seems to have settled in overnight. And as you make that first, tentative stretch, it sends a sharp, electric tingle, a line of fire, down your leg. That, my friends, is your sciatica, saying a very unwelcome good morning. It's a perplexing thing, isn't it? You've just spent hours resting, presumably giving your body time to heal and recover. So why does it sometimes feel worse when you wake up? Why does that nerve seem to choose the most peaceful moment of the day to protest so loudly? It can leave you feeling hesitant to even get out of bed, starting your day with a sense of dread instead of refreshment. You might find yourself lying there for a few extra minutes, negotiating with your own body, wondering what today's level of discomfort will be. It's almost as if your sciatic nerve has its own, very grumpy, alarm clock, and it's set for the exact moment your eyes open. It's one of those little health anxieties that can feel both deeply personal and incredibly isolating, but I promise you, you are not alone in this experience. There are very real, very physical reasons for this morning phenomenon, and understanding them is the first step toward changing that morning greeting from a painful jolt to a gentle, comfortable start. We're going to explore this together, not with complex medical jargon that makes your head spin, but with a gentle conversation, like we're sitting together with a warm cup of tea. We'll unravel the mystery of why your body feels this way after a night of rest and, more importantly, what simple, gentle things you can do to soothe it. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. For everyone tuning in tonight, I'd love to know where in the world you are and what time it is for you. It's always so comforting to see our little community stretching across all the different time zones, sharing this quiet space together. Go ahead and post your city and local time in the comments below. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Let's begin in that quiet moment, just before your feet touch the floor, and explore what is truly happening inside your body during those long hours of rest that leads to this morning call of discomfort. It starts with how you sleep, the position you find yourself in, and the subtle changes that occur in your spine while the world outside is dark and still. So, you are lying there, in the quiet of the pre-dawn, feeling that familiar, unwelcome sensation. It's a stiffness, a deep ache, a sharp reminder that your body is not quite ready to move with the ease you wish it would. To understand why this happens, why the night, which is meant for rest and repair, can become a source of this morning discomfort, we need to journey inward. We need to explore the subtle, slow, and mostly silent processes that unfold within your body as you sleep. It's not a single, dramatic event, but rather a collection of quiet contributors, each adding a small piece to the puzzle of your morning sciatica. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental processes in your body, inflammation. Now, inflammation isn't always a villain. It's your body's natural response to injury or stress, a sign that your internal healing army is at work. However, when it becomes chronic, it can be a source of persistent discomfort. And here is the first piece of our puzzle. Your body's natural rhythm, its internal clock known as the circadian rhythm, actually influences inflammation. For many people, the body's production of certain inflammatory substances, tiny molecules called cytokines, can naturally peak during the late night and early morning hours. Think of it like a tide. During the day, as you move around, your circulation is active, and this tide is constantly flowing, keeping everything dispersed. But at night, when you are still for many hours, the tide goes out. The flow slows down. This allows these inflammatory molecules to settle and accumulate in areas that are already sensitive, such as around an irritated sciatic nerve root in your lower back. Picture a slow-moving, peaceful river. If you were to sprinkle a fine powder into it, the current would carry it away. But if you were to stop the river's flow, that powder would gently settle onto the riverbed. This is a very similar process happening in your body overnight. The prolonged stillness allows these inflammatory messengers to gather around the nerve, creating a kind of chemical congestion. The nerve becomes more sensitive, more easily aggravated. It's not that a new injury has occurred overnight. It's simply that the environment around the nerve has changed, becoming more chemically loud and reactive. So when you make that first move in the morning, a simple stretch, a twist to turn off the alarm, you are moving a nerve that has been sitting in this pool of inflammatory fluid. Its response is understandably sharp and immediate. It's not a sign of damage, but a sign of exquisite sensitivity. This is a well-established health fact, this rhythm of inflammation, and it offers a clue that is both scientific and deeply reassuring. It suggests that your morning pain isn't random, it's part of a predictable, biological pattern. And as we will discover later, patterns are something we can work with. You may often wonder if you did something wrong the day before, if you lifted something awkwardly or sat for too long. And while those things can be contributing factors, sometimes the reason for the morning flare-up is as simple and as profound as the natural ebb and flow of your own body's chemistry as it sleeps. Now, let's consider the physical stage where this drama unfolds, your bed. Specifically, your sleeping position and how it influences your spine for the 6, 7, or 8 hours you are at rest. We often think of sleep as a passive state, but your body is still a physical structure, subject to the forces of gravity and pressure, even when you are lying down. The goal of a good sleeping posture is to keep your spine in a neutral, happy alignment, a gentle, natural curve, much like its position when you are standing with good posture. But over a long night, it's very easy for this alignment to be compromised. Let's imagine you are a side sleeper, as many people are. It feels cozy, natural, to curl up on your side. But as you drift deeper into sleep, your body relaxes completely. The top leg, no longer held in place by active muscles, has a tendency to drift forward and downward, pulling your pelvis with it. This creates a subtle but sustained twist in your lumbar spine, right where the sciatic nerve begins its journey. For 1 or 2 minutes, this twist is harmless. But for 6, 7, or 8 hours, it's like gently twisting a towel and holding it that way all night. The muscles and ligaments in your lower back are being held in a slightly stretched, slightly strained position. The spaces between your vertebrae, where the nerves exit, can become slightly compressed on one side. The nerve itself is put under a low-grade, constant tension. Your body, in its wisdom, might try to protect this area by tightening the surrounding muscles, creating a sort of internal splint. So when you wake, you are not just waking from sleep, you are trying to undo this nightly twist. The muscles are stiff and guarded, and the nerve is already irritated from the prolonged compression. That first attempt to straighten up and stand is met with resistance, with a chorus of complaints from a part of your body that has been held in an awkward position for the entire night. For some people, it feels more like a deep, muscular ache, while for others, it's that sharp, zinging nerve sensation. The experience can vary, but the underlying mechanism is often the same. You might even notice that the pain is consistently on the same side you tend to sleep on, or on the opposite side, depending on the specific mechanics of how your body settles. This is a crucial insight. It's not just about finding a good position, but about understanding how to support your body so it can remain in a good position throughout the night. It's a lesser-known fact that the real issue isn't always the position itself, but the lack of support that allows the body to drift out of alignment during its most relaxed state. It's a gentle mechanical stress, repeated night after night, that sensitizes the system. Now, what if you are a back sleeper? Many consider this the ideal position for spinal health, and in many ways, it can be. It distributes your body weight evenly and avoids the twisting associated with other postures. However, it comes with its own potential pitfalls, and this often comes down to your mattress. If your mattress is too soft, your hips and pelvis, which are the heaviest part of your torso, will sink down further than your shoulders and legs. This creates an exaggerated arch in your lower back, a position we call hyperlordosis. It's like sleeping in a shallow hammock all night. This prolonged arching can jam the facet joints in your lower spine and narrow the channels where the nerve roots exit. The sciatic nerve root can become pinched or crowded, not by a sudden movement, but by a slow, persistent, gravitational sag. You might wake up feeling incredibly stiff, as if your lower back is locked in place, and it takes several minutes of careful movement to unlock it. The pain isn't necessarily sharp at first, but a profound, block-like stiffness that only reveals the nerve irritation once you try to stand up and ask your spine to bear weight. Conversely, if your mattress is too firm, it doesn't allow your hips and shoulders to sink in at all. It creates pressure points. For a back sleeper, this might not be as detrimental to the lower back, but for a side sleeper, a mattress that is too firm will force your spine to curve upwards, away from the mattress, to accommodate the width of your shoulders and hips. Again, your spine is held in a bowed position for hours on end. You're not being cradled, you're being held in a state of tension. You may find yourself waking up throughout the night to shift positions, trying to escape the pressure on your hip or shoulder, which disrupts your sleep and never allows your back muscles to fully relax. The body is smart. It will try to find comfort, but in doing so, it might twist and turn into positions that ultimately irritate that sciatic nerve. You might wonder, how can I find the right mattress? It seems so complicated. And it can feel that way. But the question is less about finding a universally perfect mattress and more about finding the surface that best accommodates your unique body shape and sleeping style, keeping that spine as neutral and relaxed as possible. And we cannot forget the stomach sleepers. While it can feel incredibly comforting for some, like receiving a gentle hug from the mattress, it is perhaps the most mechanically stressful position for the entire spine. To breathe, you have to turn your head to one side, which creates a significant twist in your neck that extends all the way down your spinal column. Furthermore, sleeping on your stomach encourages your lower back to sink into that same hammock-like arch we discussed with soft mattresses. This combination of a twisted neck and an arched lower back puts sustained mechanical stress on the entire system. It's like asking your body to hold a complicated yoga pose for 8 hours straight. The pressure on the lumbar vertebrae and the nerve roots can be immense. People who sleep on their stomachs are often the most likely to wake up with that immediate, sharp sciatic pain, along with neck and shoulder stiffness. It's a position that, while emotionally comforting, is physically demanding. And it's okay if this is your go-to position. Many of us develop these habits over a lifetime. The goal isn't to judge it, but to gently understand its consequences and begin to explore small modifications that can offer your spine a little more kindness through the night. The environment of your sleep is more than just your position, it's the entire ecosystem of your bed. Let's talk about pillows for a moment. We usually think of them as being for our head, but a pillow's job is really to support the natural curve of your neck and keep your entire spine in alignment. If you're a side sleeper and your pillow is too thin, your head will drop down, creating a curve in your neck. If it's too thick, it will be pushed upwards. Both of these scenarios create tension that doesn't just stay in the neck. It can translate down the entire spinal cord, contributing to overall tension and making the lower back more susceptible to irritation. But here's a comforting tip that often gets overlooked: the pillows you use for your body are just as important as the one under your head. We've talked about the top leg drifting forward in side sleepers. A simple, firm pillow placed between the knees can be a game changer. It keeps the top leg propped up, preventing it from pulling on the pelvis. This simple addition keeps your hips, pelvis, and spine in beautiful, neutral alignment. It stops that nightly twist before it even begins. It's such a small change, but its effects can be profound. For back sleepers, a soft pillow placed under the knees can be equally magical. It creates a slight bend in the knees, which flattens the lower back against the mattress, releasing that hammock-like arch and easing the pressure on the lumbar spine. It opens up the spaces for the nerves. These aren't expensive or complicated solutions, they are simple acts of physical kindness you can offer your body, creating a more supportive and peaceful environment for it to rest in. Now let's dive a little deeper into something truly surprising, a reason for your morning sciatica that begins not in your bed last night, but with what you drank or didn't drink throughout the day yesterday. Let's talk about hydration and its critical role in the health of your spine. Nestled between each of your vertebrae are your intervertebral discs. These are magnificent structures, acting as your body's personal shock absorbers. You can picture them as tiny, fibrous donuts with a jelly-like center, called the nucleus pulposus. This jelly center is mostly made of water. During the day, as you are upright, walking, sitting, living your life, the force of gravity and your own body weight compress these discs, slowly squeezing water out of them. This is a normal process. It's why you are actually a tiny bit shorter at the end of the day than you are when you first wake up. The night is the crucial time for these discs to repair and rehydrate. When you lie down, the pressure is taken off your spine. This allows the discs to act like sponges, drawing in water and nutrients from the surrounding tissues, plumping back up to their full, healthy height. This rehydration is vital because it creates space. It increases the distance between the vertebrae, which in turn opens up the foramina, the small windows on the sides of your spine through which the nerve roots, including the sciatic nerve, exit. A plump, well-hydrated disc means a happy, spacious home for your nerves. But what happens if you are even mildly dehydrated? If you haven't consumed enough water during the day, your body has to ration its resources. The rehydration of your spinal discs might not be a top priority compared to, say, maintaining your blood pressure or brain function. As a result, your discs cannot plump up to their full potential overnight. They remain slightly compressed, slightly thinner. This means less space between the vertebrae. The windows for the nerves become smaller. The environment around the sciatic nerve root becomes more crowded. The nerve has less room to move, less of a cushion to protect it. So, when you wake up and start to move, that slightly less spacious environment can lead to the nerve being pinched or irritated. It's an astonishing thought, isn't it? That your morning back pain could be directly related to the number of glasses of water you had yesterday. This is another one of those well-established health facts that feels incredibly empowering. It connects your daily habits in a very direct way to your nightly and morning experience of comfort or discomfort. It's not some mysterious, unchangeable ailment. It's a sign, a message from your body asking for something as simple and fundamental as water. This dehydration factor also works in concert with the other issues we've discussed. Imagine a slightly dehydrated, thinner disc combined with a sleeping position that twists your spine. Now you have two factors working together to reduce the space for that nerve. Or imagine a thinner disc on a mattress that is already letting your hips sag. The problem is compounded. It's rarely one single thing, but a conspiracy of gentle factors that create the conditions for morning pain. It's a perfect storm of inflammation, mechanical stress, and insufficient rehydration, all converging in the quiet of the night. And there is one more subtle, yet powerful, contributor to consider: the temperature of your room and your body. Have you ever noticed how your muscles feel tighter and stiffer in the cold? The same principle applies when you sleep. If your bedroom is chilly, or if a draft is blowing over your back, your muscles may subconsciously contract to generate heat and protect you. This low-grade, sustained muscle contraction is called guarding. Your deep spinal muscles, the ones that cradle your lumbar spine, can clench up without you even being aware of it. You sleep through it, but your muscles are not fully at rest. They are working, holding tension all night long. This constant tightness can compress the very tissues and nerves you are trying to rest. The blood flow to the area can be reduced, which also slows down the process of flushing out those inflammatory molecules we talked about earlier. So you wake up with muscles that feel stiff, cold, and rigid, and a nerve that has been squeezed by this unconscious tension for hours. The feeling is one of being brittle, of needing to warm up before you can move properly. It's why sometimes, just pulling the covers up a little higher or making sure your lower back is well covered can make a noticeable difference in how you feel when the sun rises. All these factors, the natural inflammatory cycle, the sustained pressure from your sleeping position, the critical support of your mattress and pillows, the fundamental importance of hydration for your discs, and the subtle effect of temperature weave together a complex tapestry. They explain why a period of rest can paradoxically lead to a feeling of pain and stiffness. It's not that your body is failing you. It is simply responding to the conditions you place it in. And this is the most hopeful and reassuring part of this entire exploration. Because every single one of these factors is something you can influence. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of a random, unpredictable pain. Your morning sciatica is not a sentence, it is a message. It is a very specific, very detailed letter from your body, telling you exactly what it needs to feel better. It's asking for better alignment, for more support, for more water, for a warmer environment. And by listening, truly listening, to these quiet, nightly signals, you can begin to write a new story for your mornings. A story that starts not with a jolt of pain, but with a gentle, easy, comfortable stretch into a new day. Let's stay with this thought for a moment longer, this idea of your body sending you a message. Because the letter it writes you overnight is composed not just of the events of your sleep, but also of the history of your days. The way you feel when you wake is often a direct reflection of the tensions and patterns you carry with you to bed. We can't separate the night from the day that came before it. So, let's explore how the life you live in the daylight hours quietly sets the stage for your morning discomfort. Think about your muscles, specifically the large groups of muscles that support your pelvis and lower back. They work in partnership, like a team of dedicated movers, to keep your spine stable and balanced. Your abdominal and core muscles are on the front, your gluteal muscles are in the back, your hip flexors are at the front of your hips, and your hamstrings run down the back of your thighs. In a perfectly balanced body, these teams work in beautiful harmony. But in modern life, especially as we get older and perhaps spend more time sitting in a favorite armchair, at a desk, in a car, this balance can be disrupted. When you sit for long periods, your hip flexors at the front of your body are held in a shortened, contracted position. Over time, they can become chronically tight. Think of them as ropes that are slowly being winched tighter and tighter. At the same time, the opposing muscles, your glutes, are inactive and can become weak from lack of use. You carry this imbalance with you, even when you lie down. When you go to bed with tight hip flexors, they continue to pull your pelvis forward into a slight anterior tilt, creating that familiar arch in your lower back. You can be lying on a perfectly supportive mattress, but this internal tension is still at play, preventing your lumbar spine from fully relaxing and decompressing. Your lower back muscles, in response to this forward pull, have to remain partially engaged all night long, trying to counteract the tension. They never get a true rest. They are on a low level, constant duty, and by morning, they are fatigued, stiff, and sore. The area becomes congested with metabolic waste, which adds to that pool of inflammation we spoke of, further sensitizing the sciatic nerve. You might wonder why your back feels so tight when you've been resting it all night. The truth is, it hasn't been resting at all, it's been engaged in a silent, hours-long tug-of-war. This is a profound and comforting insight. The problem may not be with your back itself, but with the tension in surrounding muscles, like the ones at the front of your hips. It shifts the focus from a bad back to a simple imbalance that can be gently addressed. This leads us to an even deeper, more subtle cause, one that lives not in your muscles or your discs, but in your very own nervous system. Let's talk about stress. We all experience it, in myriad forms. It could be worry about family, financial pressures, or simply the low-grade hum of a busy, overstimulated world. We tend to think of stress as an emotional or mental experience, but your body keeps a physical score. When you feel stressed or anxious, your body activates its fight or flight response, governed by the sympathetic nervous system. It releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepare you to face a perceived threat. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallower, and your muscles tense up, ready for action. This is a brilliant, life-saving system when you're facing a genuine, short-term danger. But when stress becomes chronic, your body can get stuck in this state of high alert. Your nervous system becomes like a car engine that is always idling too high, never truly returning to a state of rest and relaxation. You take this heightened state of alert to bed with you. Even as you fall asleep, your nervous system can remain on guard. This has two major consequences for your morning sciatica. First, the chronic muscle tension we just discussed gets amplified. Your back muscles, your hip flexors, your glutes, they all hold onto this tension, clenching tighter than they otherwise would. Second, and perhaps more importantly, a sensitized nervous system changes your perception of pain. Imagine your sciatic nerve is a single string on a guitar. In a relaxed, well-rested nervous system, a gentle pluck on that string, say, from a slight compression overnight, would produce a soft, low note. You might not even notice it. But in a nervous system that is on high alert from chronic stress, that same string is stretched taut, like it's been tuned several octaves too high. Now, that same gentle pluck produces a loud, sharp, jarring sound. The physical stimulus is the same, but the brain's interpretation of it is drastically different. The pain feels more intense, more alarming, more widespread. You might have noticed this in your own life. On days when you feel calm and happy, aches and pains seem to fade into the background. But on days when you feel stressed and overwhelmed, those same sensations can feel unbearable. This is not in your head, this is your biology. Chronic stress winds up the volume knob on your body's pain signals. So you wake in the morning, and that slight irritation from a dehydrated disc or a twisted sleeping posture is experienced not as a minor stiffness, but as a significant, debilitating pain. It's a crucial piece of the puzzle because it explains why your pain levels can fluctuate so much from day to day, even when your physical habits remain the same. For some people, the key to a better morning lies not just in a new pillow, but in finding ways to gently soothe their nervous system before they even close their eyes. Let's layer one more concept onto our understanding, the idea of micromovements during sleep. It's a misconception that we lie perfectly still all night, like statues. Our bodies are designed to move. We make dozens of small shifts, turns, and adjustments throughout the night. These are called micromovements, and they are incredibly healthy. They prevent pressure sores, help with circulation, and stop our joints from becoming too stiff. They are your body's own, innate form of nightly therapy. However, in a body that is primed for sciatica, these normal, healthy movements can become the trigger for pain. Think of the space around your sciatic nerve root as a hallway. In a healthy back, this hallway is wide and clear. You can move through it easily without bumping into the walls. But when you have a slightly bulging or dehydrated disc, or inflammation, or tight muscles, it's as if the hallway has become cluttered with furniture. It's much narrower. Now, as you make one of those normal, unconscious micromovements in your sleep, perhaps you shift your hips or extend your leg, the nerve is more likely to get bumped, jostled, or snagged on this furniture. It's like a tripwire. In a clear hallway, the wire would just lie on the floor, harmless. But in this crowded hallway, the wire is stretched taut between obstacles. The slightest touch can set it off, sending that sharp, electric signal down your leg that jolts you awake or greets you the moment you stir. This helps explain why the pain can feel so sudden and acute in the morning. The conditions for the pain, the crowded hallway, were created slowly and silently over several hours. But the pain itself was triggered in a split second by a simple, normal movement. It's a reassuring thought, in a way. It tells you that the pain isn't necessarily a sign that you have done new or severe damage. It's often just a sign that a very sensitive structure has been disturbed in a tight space. It highlights the importance of creating more space in that hallway through hydration, proper alignment, and releasing muscle tension so that these normal, healthy nightly movements can occur without tripping the alarm. All these threads, the internal chemistry of inflammation, the external mechanics of your bed, the carried over tension from your muscles and your mind, they all weave together. They create a highly specific environment in your lower back each night. They explain why the very act designed for recovery can become a source of pain. But in this detailed explanation lies the blueprint for relief. Every cause we have gently uncovered tonight points directly to a corresponding solution, a way to change the story of your mornings, one small, kind adjustment at a time. The message your body is sending is not one of despair, but one of invitation, an invitation to listen more closely and respond with more care. So, we have sat together in the quiet and explored the intricate web of reasons behind your morning sciatica. We've seen how inflammation, alignment, hydration, and even the tension from your day can gather in the darkness to greet you with pain at dawn. And if you are lying there now, listening, you might be feeling a sense of clarity, but also a quiet question. What now? This is the most important part of our journey together. Because understanding the why is simply the map. Now, we will learn how to read that map and choose a new, more comfortable path forward. This isn't about grand, difficult gestures. It's about a series of small, gentle acts of kindness you can offer your body, starting long before your head even hits the pillow. Let's begin with the end of your day. The hours just before you go to sleep are a golden opportunity to change the environment your body will inhabit all night. Remember how we talked about those dehydrated spinal discs, unable to plump up and create space for your nerves. We can address this with a simple, mindful hydration strategy. This doesn't mean drinking 3 large glasses of water right before bed, which might only lead to disrupted sleep for other reasons. Instead, think of it as a gentle, day-long offering. Picture your discs as tiny, thirsty sponges. From the moment you wake up, begin to give them small sips of water throughout the day. Keep a glass or a bottle nearby, and make it a quiet, consistent habit. You don't need to overdo it, just a steady intake is enough. Consider water-rich foods in your evening meal, like cucumber, celery, or a small bowl of melon. These release water more slowly into your system. By the time you are ready for bed, you have given your body the raw materials it needs for its vital nightly repair work. You are, in essence, preparing the ground for a night of profound restoration. As you lie down, you can almost imagine those discs gratefully soaking in the fluid, expanding to their full height, and creating a spacious, cushioned home for your nerves. It's a beautiful, silent process, and you have the power to support it. Next, let's address that sensitized nervous system, the one we pictured with the guitar string tuned too tight from a day of stress. We need to gently help that string loosen before you sleep. This is where a wind-down ritual becomes not an indulgence, but a necessity. About an hour before you plan to sleep, make a conscious decision to dim the lights, both literally and metaphorically. Turn off the bright screens, the television, the computer, the phone, which emit a blue light that can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Instead, perhaps you turn to the soft, warm light of a small lamp and the quiet rustle of pages in a book. Or maybe you put on some gentle, instrumental music, something that doesn't have a driving beat but instead seems to wash over the room. One of the most powerful ways to soothe both mind and muscle is a warm bath. The magic here is twofold. The heat itself is a vasodilator, meaning it widens your blood vessels, which increases the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your tired, tight muscles in the lower back and hips. This helps to flush out some of the inflammatory byproducts and delivers healing nutrients. The second effect is on your nervous system. The sensation of being enveloped in warmth sends a powerful signal to your brain to shift from that fight or flight state to the rest and digest state. Your breathing deepens, your heart rate slows, and your mind begins to quiet. To enhance this, you can add a cup or 2 of Epsom salts to the water. This is another one of those simple, age-old remedies that is backed by gentle science. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and magnesium is a crucial mineral for muscle relaxation. It can be absorbed through the skin, helping to ease that deep, unconscious clenching you might be holding in your back and hips. As you soak, focus on the sensation of the water supporting you, of the tension melting away from your body. It is a profound act of self-care. While you are in this warm, relaxed state, or perhaps just after your bath when your muscles are most receptive, you can introduce a few, very gentle stretches. This is not about forcing or pushing, but about inviting a release. Let's try one together, just in our imagination. Lie comfortably on your back on a soft surface. Gently bend your right knee and draw it in toward your chest. Clasp your hands just below your kneecap and give it a gentle hug. Don't pull hard. Just hold it there, and breathe. Take a long, slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine all the tension in your right hip and lower back just melting into the floor. You might feel a gentle lengthening sensation. Hold this for about 30 seconds. A well-established health fact is that holding a static stretch for this length of time is what allows the muscle fibers to truly signal a release and begin to lengthen. Then, slowly release the leg and repeat on the other side. You might be wondering which stretch is best for you, and the honest answer is the one that feels good and doesn't increase that sharp, nerve-like pain. If you feel a good stretch, that's your body saying thank you. If you feel a sharp, zinging pain, that's your body saying, not that one, not today, and you should listen and back off gently. Another wonderful stretch is to lie on your back with both knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Then, just let both knees fall gently to one side, keeping your shoulders on the floor. It's a simple, passive spinal twist that can help to irritate the lumbar spine after a day of being held in one position. Again, just hold and breathe. 3 or 4 simple, mindful stretches like these can take less than 10 minutes, but they can completely change the state in which you enter your night's rest. You are actively releasing the day's tension before it has a chance to settle in and cause trouble. Now that you are hydrated, relaxed, and gently stretched, let's turn our attention to the physical stage, your bed. Remember the clutter in the hallway we imagined around your nerve? Let's spend some time strategically arranging the furniture to create a clear, spacious path. This is the art of pillow fortification. It is, perhaps, the most practical and lesser-known tip for transforming your sleep. Let's go through the sleeping positions. If you are a side sleeper, our goal is to stop that top leg from falling forward and twisting your pelvis. Take a firm pillow, one that doesn't compress to nothing, and place it lengthwise between your knees and ankles. The support should extend all the way down. When you do this, you will feel your top hip being propped up, preventing it from pulling on your lower back. Your hips will stay stacked one on top of the other. For extra support, if you feel a gap between your waist and the mattress, you can slide a small, rolled-up towel in there. This completes the support system, keeping your entire spine, from your hips to your shoulders, in a beautiful, straight line. If you are a back sleeper, your solution is just as simple. Take 1 or 2 soft pillows and place them under your knees. This creates a gentle bend in your legs, which tilts your pelvis slightly backward, allowing your lower back to release and flatten gently against the mattress. You will feel an immediate sensation of relief in your lumbar spine. That tension from the arching position just melts away. You are no longer in a hammock, you are being fully and properly supported. The key is to find the right height. You want just enough support to feel the release, but not so much that your legs are pushed uncomfortably high. Now, for my stomach sleepers. I know this position is deeply comforting, and the idea of changing it can feel daunting. So we won't aim for a dramatic overnight shift. Instead, let's try a compassionate compromise. This is a wonderfully comforting tip for making a gradual change. Try to become a semi-stomach sleeper. You can achieve this by using a body pillow, a long pillow that you can hug with your arms and legs. Lie on your side and hug the pillow, pulling the top half of it under your chest and draping your top leg over it. This gives you the comforting sensation of pressure on your stomach that you enjoy, but it prevents you from rolling all the way over. It keeps your spine from twisting so severely and your lower back from arching as much. It's a bridge, a halfway point between the position your body loves and the position your spine needs. It's a gentle negotiation, not a strict command. And what about your mattress? If you feel it's too soft and you're not in a position to buy a new one, you can try a simple, inexpensive fix. A piece of plywood placed between your mattress and the box spring or bed frame can add a surprising amount of firmness and support, preventing that hip sag. If your mattress feels too firm, creating pressure points, a simple foam or memory foam topper, just an inch or two thick, can provide the cushioning your body needs to relax into the surface. The goal is to work with what you have, to become a creative problem solver for your own comfort. You have now done everything you can to set the stage for a peaceful, restorative night. You are hydrated, relaxed, supported, and aligned. Now, you can let go and trust your body to do its healing work. And when the morning comes, when you first start to drift back into awareness, we will have a new ritual. A gentle awakening. This is how we avoid tripping that sensitive alarm wire. The first rule is, no sudden movements. Don't sit bolt upright. Don't swing your legs over the side of the bed in a hurry. Give yourself a moment. Lying on your back, before you even think about moving your spine, just begin to move your ankles. Point your toes down, then flex them up toward your shin. Do this 10 times, slowly and deliberately. Then, rotate your ankles in circles, first one way, then the other. This simple, tiny movement is profoundly helpful. It acts as a nerve floss. It gently glides the sciatic nerve back and forth through its pathway, just a few millimeters. It's like waking the nerve up with a gentle nudge rather than a loud alarm. It gets fluid moving around the nerve before you ask it to stretch or bear weight. After your ankle pumps, you can gently perform that same knee-to-chest hug we discussed earlier. Bring one knee in, hold, and breathe. Then the other. Notice how it feels. It will likely feel different than it did the night before. Perhaps a little stiffer, but with your slow, deep breaths, you can feel it begin to release. After you've hugged each knee individually, you can try hugging both at the same time, giving your entire lower back a moment of gentle flexion, countering all those hours of being in a relatively fixed position. Now comes the single most important movement for getting out of bed, the log roll. Instead of sitting up, which puts enormous strain on your lumbar discs, you will keep your back straight and passive. Bend your knees. Keeping your knees and shoulders moving as one single unit, imagine you are a log in a river. Roll onto your side, whichever side feels most comfortable. Pause there for a breath. Then, use your arms to do the work. Push down with your lower arm and your top hand, pushing your torso upright while you simultaneously swing your legs off the side of the bed. Your back remains straight and neutral the entire time. You arrive in a seated position without any twisting or straining of the lower back. Sit on the edge of the bed for a moment. Let your body arrive in this new, upright position. Feel your feet on the floor. Only then, when you feel ready, should you push up with your legs to a standing position. This single technique can revolutionize your mornings. It respects the sensitivity of your morning spine and prevents that initial, painful jolt. It is a final act of kindness, a way of transitioning from the world of rest to the world of movement with care and intention. Each of these solutions, from a glass of water to a simple stretch to a mindful movement, is a choice. It's you, listening to your body's message, and lovingly, patiently, writing a new reply. And so, our time together tonight is drawing to a gentle close. We have journeyed deep into the quiet landscape of the body, exploring the subtle whispers and sometimes loud complaints of the sciatic nerve as it greets the morning. We started with a simple, shared question: why? Why does the time meant for rest so often bring with it this peculiar brand of discomfort? And together, we have slowly, carefully, unwrapped the reasons, discovering that the answer is not one thing, but a beautiful, intricate tapestry woven from many threads. We learned that it is a story told in the language of inflammation, a tale of the body's natural rhythms, of tides that ebb and flow within you while you sleep. We saw how the simple physics of your sleeping posture, the gentle but insistent pull of gravity on a spine held in a slight twist for many hours, can create tension and stiffness. We have come to understand that your body is having a conversation with you, a conversation that spans the full 24 hours of a day. The stresses you carry in your mind and the imbalances you hold in your muscles during the daylight hours do not simply vanish when you turn out the lights, you carry them with you into the soft sanctuary of your bed. They become part of the environment in which you rest. We discovered the profound, almost secret, importance of something as simple as water, visualizing those thirsty little discs of your spine and realizing that their ability to create space and comfort for your nerves tonight depends on the gentle care you gave them yesterday. We have transformed the feeling of being a victim of a mysterious pain into the feeling of being a wise listener, a gentle interpreter of your body's unique language. You are no longer in the dark. You have the map. You can now see the connections between a stressful afternoon and a stiff morning, between a less than supportive mattress and that familiar ache, between a day of forgetting to drink water and the pinch that wakes you. And in this new understanding, there is a profound sense of peace and empowerment. The solutions we explored were not complicated or demanding. They were invitations to softness, to kindness, to a more mindful way of being. They were the simple magic of a pillow placed just so, creating a perfect line of support for your sleeping spine. They were the quiet ritual of a warm bath, a moment to consciously melt away the day's armor. They were the gentle stretches, not of force, but of release, of breathing into tightness and letting it go. We learned a new way to greet the day, with slow, deliberate movements, the ankle pumps that act as a loving greeting to your nerves, and the log roll, that graceful, protective way of rising to meet the morning without insult or injury to your sensitive back. These are not chores to be added to a list. Think of them, instead, as small, sacred acts of self-care. They are you, becoming the gentle architect of your own comfort, the kind caretaker of your own physical home. And now, as you lie there, letting these ideas settle, I want to leave you with one final, and perhaps most important, thought: the gift of patience. Healing and change are not linear events, they are a slow and meandering dance. You have started a new conversation with your body, and it may take time for the dialogue to become smooth and easy. There will be mornings when you wake up and feel a remarkable difference, a new sense of freedom and ease that fills you with hope. Cherish those mornings. They are proof that your efforts are bearing fruit. And there may be other mornings when you still feel that old, familiar stiffness. On those days, it is essential that you offer yourself the deepest compassion. Do not see it as a failure or a setback. See it simply as part of the process. Your body has held these patterns for a long time, and it may take a little while to learn a new way. Just notice it, without judgment. Perhaps you were a little more stressed the day before, or maybe you forgot your evening stretches. It's just information. It's another letter from your body, and you can simply respond with, "Okay, I hear you. Tonight, we will try again." Be as patient with yourself as you would be with a dear friend who is learning something new. The goal is not perfection. The goal is a trend toward greater comfort, greater understanding, and greater peace. Celebrate the small victories. The victory of remembering to place a pillow between your knees. The victory of taking 10 minutes for a warm bath. The victory of getting out of bed with that gentle log roll. Each of these is a seed you are planting. And with consistent, loving attention, those seeds will grow into a new reality for your mornings, one that is defined not by pain and apprehension, but by ease and gratitude. Trust in the process. Trust in your body's profound capacity for healing. And trust in your own ability to provide the conditions it needs to do its best work. So now, let it all go. Let all of this information gently dissolve, leaving behind only a feeling of quiet confidence and calm. Bring your awareness to your own breathing, feeling the soft, effortless rise and fall of your chest, the gentle rhythm that has been with you all your life, a steady, calming anchor in the quiet of the night. Feel the weight of your body being completely supported by the surface beneath you. There is nothing for you to do right now, nothing to hold on to, nowhere to be but right here, sinking softly, gently, into a state of deep and profound rest. Imagine a wave of relaxation beginning at the very tips of your toes. A warm, heavy, soothing sensation that slowly begins to wash up through your feet and into your ankles, dissolving any tension as it goes. Feel this gentle warmth flowing into your calf muscles and up into your knees, so soft, so heavy, so deeply relaxed. Allow this wave of comfort to travel into your thighs, releasing the large, strong muscles there, and into your hips, letting that entire area become soft, open, and at ease. Feel your lower back letting go, melting into the mattress, all the tightness just dissolving, fading away into the stillness. The wave of comfort continues to flow up your spine, through your stomach and chest, over your shoulders, down your arms, and into your fingertips. Your entire body is now heavy, warm, and peaceful. Your breathing is slow and deep. Your mind is quiet, clear, and serene. You are safe, you are comfortable, and you are ready for a truly restorative sleep, a sleep that heals, a sleep that replenishes, a sleep that prepares you for a gentle, comfortable, and easy morning. Let the darkness be a soft, velvet blanket, and let your dreams be sweet and peaceful. Rest now, just rest.